All right. Hey, folks.
Hello.
Welcome to episode 2 of In Your Kitchen with Santa Fe Foodies.
Hooray.
Okay, and today we're here with Banu.
Hello.
I got her name right.
Yay.
And what are we making today?
We are making 2 different kinds of Sigara börek, which are phyllo dough scrolls wrapped around feta cheese, and one with Swiss chard and walnuts and pomegranate seeds.
Is that Ethiopian?
No, it's Turkish.
Ah, it's Turkish. Okay, so we'll be right back. Okay, and we are back, and here we go.
Hey, so I am now chopping some Swiss chard. It's actually a red chard. And I actually like to use the stems, so I just kind of slice through them to make them a little thinner. And I cut through those like that. I already have some onions going on the stove, so I'm just gonna take these right over, add them to the stove, just to give these guys a little bit of a head start. Since we are in the high desert, you have to cook the onions on low with salt and cover them in order for them to cook. So I'm just like slicing through the Swiss chard. I'll probably go back the other direction just to make the leaves a little bit smaller. This börek dish is, I think, from the Black Sea region of Turkey. I looked at several recipes online, and they have Swiss chard, walnuts, and currants in them. But I thought I would change it up a little bit. A, because I don't like currants in cooked food.
Interesting.
It's so weird. I eat pretty much everything, but like plump currants or raisins, don't love. So I'm going to add pomegranate seeds instead. So now I'm gonna add this to the pot over here.
So is this, I'm guessing, obviously a very old dish? Or I wonder about the history of it.
Börek has been around for thousands of years.
I'm really into I'm really into food history and how things have, where they originated, how they develop, how they change.
Well, there are as many versions of börek as there are humans living in Turkey, I imagine.
Yeah, right.
And also all over the Middle East and North Africa even. I know the Tunisians make something called burekas or brick, which has an egg in it, wrapped around pastry, also with many different assorted fillings. So this is just one way to make börek, and it is generally served as an appetizer because it's a small little scroll, and you'll see when we assemble it.
Okay, cool. Oh, look, we have a guest. Who's that?
That is my little dog Koa.
Hey, Koa! Look at Koa!
So this is just gonna cook down for a little bit, and then I'll add the other stuff, the pomegranate molasses, the pomegranate seeds, the walnuts, and I think I wanna add a little bit of pul biber, which is Aleppo pepper.
Oh my God, how exciting.
So it'll be a little spicy.
Drama. Santa Fe Foodies people love drama.
This is cooking down. I have over here just the ingredients that are going to go into this. If you want to take a look, I think I'm going to add a little bit of beyaz peynir, which is white, called literal translation white cheese, but it means feta cheese in Turkish.
Okay, so it is feta cheese.
Yep, this is feta, and I got it in Albuquerque at Istanbul Cafe. Not run by Turks, even though the name is Istanbul Cafe. But they have a really amazing selection of Mediterranean, Middle Eastern products. And so that is where I got these pastry leaves that are in the shape of the triangle that we want for this dish. You can make what's called yufka. This is very different than phyllo dough, what the Greeks use or what Americans use. It's a little bit thicker, and it's very particular to at least Turkish. There might be other cuisines that use a thicker kind of pastry dough, but it's kind of imperative that you have that. So you can order it from many places online or go to Istanbul Cafe in Albuquerque to get it.
Which is another interesting point. Us living out here out in the high desert, we don't have instant access to everything that
Not
we want.
Not like New York City where we both used to live.
Yeah, right.
So this is pul biber, which is Aleppo pepper. I think I mentioned on the previous video, I saw the folks drying the peppers outside their homes this summer when I was in Turkey, preparing this. It's generally just a particular type of pepper that they dry and add salt to and a little bit of oil. And then pomegranate seeds, walnuts, there were pomegranates growing on the trees in September when I was there in Turkey too. They were not yet ripe. They ripened just probably like just after I left, like into September. They were just getting ripe. Walnuts, feta. So these are going to go into the Swiss chard one. I'm going to add a little lemon zest and some pomegranate molasses, which actually you can find everywhere now. They sell at Whole Foods in Santa Fe. This is interesting. In Turkey, they have all kinds of different kinds of molasses. They have like grape molasses. They will have mulberry molasses, and they eat in all different ways. When I was just now on the Mediterranean coast in September, they serve it at breakfast with some tahini. But that's what's so interesting about Turkish food, because Turkey is such a huge country. It's the size of Texas, and there are so many different regions. It's like Italy, where like in the north in the Black Sea region there are different delicacies. In the south there are different delicacies. It's really so varied. I tasted food this summer along the Mediterranean coast that I'd never had heard of before. So yeah, it's really super cool. So, and then this will be the other pastry is just going to be a more traditional one, which is with parsley and feta and an egg just to bind it. I thought I would add a little sumac just to try.
I was going to ask you, what is that?
Yeah, just to try to see what it would taste like, because I think I feel like the flavors would go well together, and I haven't tasted that before.
What is sumac?
So sumac is a berry that grows on a shrub that actually is native here. It grows here. I tried to plant a sumac tree in my front yard so that I could harvest my own sumac, because I eat a lot of it. But I did not know that the sumac trees were gendered, so I bought a male sumac instead of a female sumac.
Oh, okay.
And it doesn't bear fruit, unfortunately. So I don't know if I need another one. I have to figure that out. But anyway, so it's a berry that you pulverize. You can grind up into this kind of powder, and it has a citrusy flavor. So I think in the winter months when we didn't have global access to food products, people used sumac as a sort of citrus enhancer in the wintertime instead of lemon. So it's often in salads. It's in like Lebanese fattoush salad, for instance. It's in Turkey, you put it with parsley and onions, and you add it onto all kinds of kebabs and stuff.
So a seasonal kind of replacement. Yeah,
exactly. So this is cooking down now. The Swiss chard. It's looking lovely. And when this is done, I'm just going to stir in those other ingredients and just let it cool, and then we'll wrap up the pastries. So actually, I could get started on mixing up these guys. So I'm going to have to cut up this parsley as well. This is the feta. I think it's Bulgarian feta. That's my favorite kind that you can get in the States. Okay, I'm going to grab my cutting board. In Turkey, there are all different kinds of feta. They have like goat milk feta, sheep milk feta, cow's milk feta, and all different varieties of creaminess. It's really quite remarkable. And they're generally quite creamy, which is really nice. So this Bulgarian feta approximates that for me. The kind you get we just don't have that much access to really great cheese in Santa Fe, unfortunately.
That's, as we're doing this whole episode, that's what I keep thinking about as you bring out the feta, that, we had cheesemongers.
We had that cheesemongers.
And they were really good.
Yep.
And then in the discussions on the group, Tom Hill, do you know Tom Hill, the wine guy?
Yes, I'm going to see him tomorrow at the wine tasting.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
He mentioned that he thinks the best place for cheese in town right now is at Smith's over on St. Michael's.
Oh, yeah. Do they have Murray's cheeses there?
I when I go there, I never go for cheese, but I walk by and I don't really examine it. But they do have it looks pretty extensive for Santa Fe standards.
Yeah, they might, because that's Kroger. And Kroger, in my hometown, carries the Murray's cheese line. Okay. So it's possible that they have Murray's cheeses. I'm going to check it out.
They've got a pretty big, it's a large cheese section. Yeah, even compared to Whole Foods, it's pretty big. So,
okay. Yeah. Cool. I will check it out. So I'm just mashing this feta with a fork, and it's super easy because it's pretty creamy. And then I'm going to add the parsley and the egg and a little bit of sumac. And in goes parsley. I just picked the leaves off, the stems. I don't generally do that. I actually kind of like the stems.
So this is actually pretty healthy too.
Yeah, really healthy.
But clean
aside from
food,
the
healthy.
frying part. Well, you know what they say, the Mediterranean diet is the way to go, right?
That's true.
So here's my egg. This is just a binding agent, so it's pretty necessary though to keep it all together. And I don't take the time to like whisk it up separately. It's fine if you just add it all together. And obviously you don't need any salt because this feta is very salty. And I'm gonna add a little sumac just to see. Let's see how this goes.
Oh, okay.
See how we like it.
So you've never done this before?
I've never done this before. But I think it might be a welcome addition. Okay, so now I think this is done. I'm just gonna let this cool a little bit. And then I will add the crumbled feta, the walnuts, the pomegranate seeds, and the spicy pepper.
Okay.
Package. They come frozen, which is great because then you can kind of keep them frozen in your fridge, in your freezer. For however long until you want to use them. And like any kind of pastry, you want to keep them moist while you're working with them. So I'm going to cover these with a damp paper towel. So here's how you roll these guys. It's super simple. I noticed in Turkey that when I was there this summer, a lot of the time they roll them just like this without folding the ends in. If they don't have a lot of cheese in there, it won't ooze out the edges. I kind of like to fold in the edges just because it's, I don't know, it just becomes a secure little packet. And then it's just, you have, in every bite, you have a little bit of cheese instead of just having pastry over here. So I like to just do a little fold in on the sides. And then your end result will be cheesy everywhere. And then when you get to the end, you just put some water on here, on both sides, and just roll it up, and then it should just stay stuck. If it doesn't, more water, or some pieces fall off, no big deal. So that's how you do it. It's super simple.
Okay.
You can also bake these if you don't want to fry them. If you bake them, you will want to egg wash. And I like to put some sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, or nigella seeds. You know those black, I think sometimes they call it black cumin here. I'm not sure why. But yeah, nigella seeds and sesame seeds on there is really nice. Okay, so I'm not gonna do too many of these. Probably do just like 3 of each, just so we can get an idea, so that I also don't crowd my pan. So we've got these guys. These guys here. So I'm gonna add the walnuts. These are already toasted. I just toasted them in a pan, and I probably won't add all of them because we don't, well, yes I will. And I'm going to add the pomegranate seeds. This is also an experiment. I just kind of invented this recipe, so we'll see how it tastes.
Okay.
I'm gonna mix these guys up. And then I'm just adding the zest of 1 lemon, maybe a little bit less, just because I thought that lemoniness would be nice in there. I might even add some juice of the lemon after I taste and see what it needs. I'm gonna add a touch of the pomegranate molasses, because actually the pomegranate didn't taste super ripe when I was tasting it. Just a touch of this. It has a really nice sweet and tartness to it, so I'm not gonna add too much, you know. Also, add this feta. Just break it up a little bit. So in this one, like the greens are the main star of the show, and then the feta sort of supporting role. But nice to have that salty flavor in there, I think. Will balance nicely with the walnuts and with the pomegranate seeds. Because we didn't add as much feta. And I'm going to also add some of this hot pepper, the Aleppo pepper. Which sometimes has a little bit of salt on there as well.
Well, what was cool about that was when I had my Cuban restaurant, and we always had green chili on hand, because we were like, well, everybody's gonna ask for green chili. But even the locals and the natives, like, we were like, do you want green chili? We're like, no.
I want Cuban food.
No, they were like, no, we want to taste it how it's. We want to see what it's supposed to taste like, which is cool, you know?
Yeah, it is cool.
Yeah.
I like the hybrid though. I like making hybrids, you know?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, this tastes good now to me, so I think we are ready to roll up a few of these guys. Okay. Looks very Christmassy, actually.
Yep, Christmas colors.
Should be a nice little Christmas appetizer, I think. Okay. This one might be a little bit bigger than the other ones. Okay. I'm going to keep these separate. Okay. They're pretty fast to make though. Like once you have all the stuff you need, it's really, the rolling up is not really, it's not bad at all. It goes really fast. Okay. All right. So let's leave it there and we'll cook these guys up.
Great.
Cool.
Okay, we'll be right back, folks.
I am frying these guys up. And I have added the Swiss chard ones first because they were a little bit bigger, very browning. And then I added the feta cheese ones. They're a little bit skinnier. And we're just gonna cook them. The oil should be about 375. I don't really measure. The pastry just needs to be cooked through, and the cheese, the egg in this one needs to be cooked, and then the cheese needs to be warmed through on the other ones.
And that all probably happens pretty quickly.
Yeah, it happens really fast actually. I'm even gonna turn this down because it's a little bit too hot. So they are looking lovely.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, you just want to drain these on some paper towels. And then we'll let them cool a little bit and then we'll try.
Cool.
Yeah. And then you could salt on top, but I don't think there's any need for salting on top because they have all that feta inside and the seasoning of the Swiss chard was pretty good. You could put some like Aleppo pepper on top, which could be nice maybe. And or sumac, just to make a nice little pretty topping there. I'm gonna put some sumac on the feta ones because we added it on the inside.
Cool.
And then we'll try them.
All right, cool. We'll be right back and we're gonna take a taste. Okay, we are back for the tasting.
My pup wants some too.
And Puppy wants some.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna try the Swiss chard ones first.
She's gonna try Swiss chard. And of course she likes it. Because she's been making these for a while.
You're right, it's nice and lemony.
All right, what should I try first?
You choose.
I'm gonna try the Swiss chard first. Swiss chard.
Actually, this is the first time I've made this.
Oh, wow.
With the pomegranate seeds.
That's good.
Is it?
It's light. It's crispy light. Definite citrusy. Let's try the other one.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, folks.
So good.
That's good. Oh, that's different. Yeah.
What I like about, can you tell how different it is from phyllo dough? How it's thicker?
I'm not an
It's
expert.
still light.
I'm not an expert on those doughs. But it's definitely light. There's a flaky lightness to it. I can totally notice that.
I don't taste the sumac, but I taste the parsley.
Wow. Okay. So, I guess this is going to be a wrap for our second episode of In Your Kitchen with Santa Fe Foodies. Thank you very much, everybody. Is there anything that you'd like to tell everybody?
So I am a personal chef and cooking instructor, so please hire me for your dinner parties, events, and or cooking instruction.
Yeah. And then we're going to have the recipe for what we made today on the YouTube channel and it'll also be on the website, and we'll also have her links for her contact information and everything for that too.
Awesome. Thank you.
So cool. And all right, folks. Bye.
See you later.